Well, we were gunning for Cedaredge. Just didn't make it. Hey guys, this is Jace and welcome to episode 160 of my roadshow. We got some stuff to get into. Let's get right into it. We ended up leaving pretty heavy and pretty late, and with 2 outliers this week. Maybe next week they'll put all 3 of them on. Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. I kind of did. I ended up finally shooting my diss track for all the dumb commenters that I've had on my channel. And if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that out. I had a lot of fun making it. I don't know if people will have a lot of fun watching it because I talk some smack. We are leaving pretty late and relatively heavy. And we have 2 stops in Delta County today. And I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. I used to have this thing on their folder that said you must leave at this time in order to make it to this point, and apparently that's on a folder that I don't have in my possession. So we're just gonna hope for the best. You know, if I'm clearing Gunnison by 3, I think we're all right. If not, we're gonna have to stay in Cedaredge because I have Alamosa on the backside, and I don't want to risk having to stay out 3 nights for one little dumb 8-foot unit. I have a couple of problems with having to stay in Cedaredge. One of which is the lack of food. You either have to do that food cart or Subway, and that's it. Like, there is nothing else to eat in town. You know, unless you get something to Montrose on the way out, you know, you're kind of SOL when it comes to eating in Cedaredge. And the second thing I don't like about staying in Cedaredge is when I shoot video inside the room, anywhere in that building, like everything is yellow and gold. Like the paint is yellow and the lights are warm, and it just, when I go to edit, it just looks like trash. And there's no amount of lighting that I can bring with me that'll fit in a suitcase that'll remedy any of that. So I end up having to put it through a filter and like dicking around with it. It just, I mean, I know that's first world problems, but it's still a problem that I have. But like I said, leaving so late, we're likely going to be staying there tonight. So you see that car right there? That is a Dodge that I would own. Yeah, boy, now that's a real car. Yeah, on Friday I caught a level 1 inspection when I'm coming through Glenwood Canyon, and a bunch of us come out, and I see a police officer out there in the median, and it looked like he was zapping people. And as soon as I go by, he starts pulling out, and I'm like, crap, what did I do? And I look down, the speed limit is 65. I was only going 68, so that's no reason for him to pull me out. But we're going along and we're going along, and the traffic in front of me starts slowing down to like 55 miles an hour. Now, mind you, when you get a little bit past Dot Cerro, the speed limit goes up to 75 miles an hour. And the crowd of cars in front of me, I couldn't like get out of there. I look in my mirror, lo and behold, Mr. Police Officer is on me. And I'm like, well, it's not like I can go any faster. I'm not getting a ticket for speeding. So we'll have to see what's going on. And he waited about a mile to light me up, and you know, he finally did. I pull over and roll down the window because he came in on this side. He's like, yes, I'm Officer blah, blah, blah. You know, we're doing a level 1 inspection on you today. And I'm like, okay. So I follow him into the truck stop in Dot Cerro, does a level 1 inspection. So that's everything. That's tires, brakes, stuff under the bonnet, everything. And this is the point I wanted to make to all you guys who are like, fix your windshield, fix your windshield. Well, guess what? He looked at it and said, okay, well, you got the one big crack, but there's nothing intersecting, so I am not going to cite you for it. Bam! So this, guys, it might piss you off, but it's perfectly legal. How do you like them apples? As I start rolling through Gunnison on my way up to Crested Butte, I look down and I see what time it is, and I'm like, Oh no, where did all my time go? I'm looking at what time it is, knowing that it's 2 hours just from Gunnison to Cedaredge. And I've still got to go up, get unloaded, and come back down, and then drop off some stuff in Gunnison. So not including any offload time, it's going to be 5 o'clock before I get to my drop in Cedaredge. So logic would dictate, well, let's go ahead and just stay in Cedaredge. Well, I've been trying to call the motel in Cedaredge for like the past 15-20 minutes and no one will answer the phone. And I cannot trust that that doesn't mean one of two things. A, they're already booked up, and B, they're not taking anybody in. So now the decision has to be made. Do I go ahead and go up there without having a room booked and just hope for the best? Or do I stop short of Montrose and just get up early? And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I've got that Alamosa on the back end, so if I don't plan this perfectly, we're going to be out an additional night. There won't be very much offload time in Cedaredge because all I have to do is give them a small package, pick up the same small package but in a different species of wood, and then take off. It'll be a really easy transaction. I will try another couple of times to get a hold of the motel there in Cedaredge, but if I can't get a hold of them, I'm just going to stop short in Montrose because I can't do unknowns and variables. Not anymore, I can't. When I first started doing this, everything was an unknown and a variable. After 2020, everybody got used to structure and reservations, so you can't do anything off the cuff anymore. The days of being able to spontaneously show up at a hotel are long since past, and everyone's just gotten used to it. Unfortunate, but that's just the way it is anymore. So we dropped off our last stuff for Gunnison County. Now we're headed to Montrose. With what time I'm leaving, we wouldn't get to Cedaredge until about 20 minutes after they close. So, and I still can't get a hold of that hotel in Cedaredge. So the executive decision has been made. We're just going to stop short in Montrose and get up super early in the morning. Because if I try to do anything other than that, we're going to miss Alamosa on the back end of tomorrow's route. And then I'll be out another night, which ordinarily wouldn't be a problem. But then I got to explain that crap to my wife. And let me tell you, after 13 years of doing this, I still hate telling my wife that I'm going to be out an extra day because she gets mad. As well she should, really, but in all honesty, I didn't want to shoot any video in that yellow-ass hotel anyway. Joya, I know you watch my videos. It's no offense against you or your building. I love the hotel. I just hate the coloring on the inside. Ask Isaac what he thinks of the coloring on his videos in there. You know, when I know I'm going to run out of hours, I'm always thinking in the back of my mind, you know, what could I have done different in the morning that could have made a different outcome? And I was waiting on 3 orders when I got in. I got in late on purpose to save myself the hours from the back end. No, you know what? I spent 15 minutes this morning clearing the check engine code on this truck with the computer that I bought. Even if I were to add that 15 minutes back in, I'd still not make it to Cedaredge. Well, with all that said, I'm going to turn all this off and get into my audiobook. So, my next stop, Montrose. Tomorrow's stops are, I have to get up early and get my ass over to Cedaredge, and then I have to drop off in Delta, and then I have Telluride, 2 in Durango, 1 in Pagosa Springs, 1 in South Fork, and then that 1 in Alamosa, and then I can go home. Anyway, that's all I've got for you tonight. I will see you in the next one.